Hello everyone, this is Paul Malutnock with video number 20. I'd like to share with you the second part of my message titled The Meaning of Life. Last video I went through why I wasn't an atheist, why I wasn't an agnostic. I reviewed the contemporary philosophies and the world religions. So today I'd like to continue on. Fundamentally, many people say that that Christianity is and the world religions are all the same. They're just superficially different, but it's actually just the opposite. Christianity is quite different. It's truth by definition is exclusive. I'd like to talk to you about sort of divvy it up into two ways. One, Jesus Christ. And then two, I'd like to talk about the holy book of Christianity, the Bible. So first of all, on Jesus Christ, he's made some amazing claims that have never been made by any other founder of any other religion. He claims to be the Son of God. And why we believe it, one reason was that the prophecies about him, written hundreds of years before him, were verified. We see the verification through not only the prophecies, but extra biblical letters and work that we have. And the things that he did claim, he was able to claim things that can be tested. For example, when he said, I will rise, he didn't say spiritually, he said, my body will rise after I'm dead. And that's what happened. No one found the body. And then, of course, he revealed himself to many others. All other world religions, you could take away the founder and keep the principles in there, and they could literally continue on. I should say virtually continue on. But Christianity, you can't take Christ out of the center of it. Christ is everything to Christianity. Other religions are rooted in many things like mastering ideas, engaging with the mystical, living a certain way, doing pragmatic things, principles, and all of those kind of things. But, in general, people look for a road to God. They look for a path to truth. They look for a better life. And Jesus said this. He said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man comes to the Father but through me. He is truth. He doesn't just say truthful things. He is truth. Behind every chain of questioning lies at its truth. Jesus Christ is there, the truth and the Creator. Now, Dr. Zacharias has said in the past that the Mideast has experienced about 5,000 years of unforgiveness. If you ask a Hindu or a Buddhist about forgiveness, they would not understand it. They would say it's all about karma, that they have to pay the debt in this life or another life. If you ask a Muslim about paradise, he could never be certain, but he would say, I have to outweigh the good from the bad. And those things are doctrinally legitimate statements that I'm making, that you have to pay. In these religions, you have to pay somehow to get good enough to be in the heaven or paradise or whatever it might be. But Jesus came to this earth. He died on the cross. He became sin for us and was punished for us, even though he was sinless. For the sins of his people, he paid the penalty. And so we think about the cross being that intersection as it is, but it's the intersection of death, judgment, mercy, grace, forgiveness, and that gives us our hope. You see, most religions are called religions, but when you ask a Christian, they'll say, no, I'm not a religion, it's a relationship, because it's all about our relationship with Christ and then our relationship to others, reflecting God's glory to other people. You see, we never own our own glory. It's always God's glory, but he allows us to reflect his glory to other people. Other religions are about man reaching up to God to God in heaven. Christianity is about something God has already done, reaching down to man and offering him salvation. So we've seen empirically, we've seen the explosive growth after the resurrection of Christ. We've seen continually growing, and today it's still the largest faith in the world, and it is a global faith. It's growing in Africa, in China, in Korea, in many places where they are oppressed. So what Christ does is not only gives us a theory, he gives us the ability to change our lives today. He changes hearts miraculously. When I think about all those who were in prison, all those that had addictions, the most of those that came out of their addictions found Christ, and he gave them the power to continue on. The amazing claims given by Jesus, and I could go through all of them, but if you just took 8 of them, where he said that he was going to rise from the dead, and he's seen over so many different people. If you take those unique things that he has prophesied and have come true, 500 people saw him after he was risen from the dead. And the interesting thing about that was that the Gospels were written in the time that those people were still alive. Let's go to the Bible. The Bible can be validated, and it is, by extra-biblical sources. We have many extra-biblical sources that verify that the things that went on in the Bible were true. We also have archeology. The Bible was written by 40 authors over a period of 1,500 years in 3 languages. It's comprised of 66 books, and they're all connected with one story. So when we look back and we see all the different authors that God inspired to write down the things that they did, we see that it's providentially inspired. It all came together with God's providence. And so we see all things in the universe also coming together in God's providence. I've said before that the Bible, its content can be challenged because it's all there, and there's extra biblical sources and everything. Other holy books cannot be challenged. Many of them were written by one person over a short period of time. Archaeology is an interesting thing. They've dug up so many things that have proved the Bible in many ways. Cities, people, kings, authorities, places, so forth. The Bible had been people had tried to stamp out the Bible for many, many years, in many, many countries and times. But it continues to be the best-selling publication in the world. Someone said it has outlived all of its pallbearers. No other worldview brings together such a coherent set of answers. If you remember the 3 questions, where did we come from, what was our purpose, and where are we going? In most of my previous thoughts and my video, it was my purpose to speak to your mind first. But I want to leave you with this. To know God has to affect your heart. To be converted is what we look for, where God changes our hearts. He transforms us. He said once to a Pharisee, Nicodemus, he said, "You must be born again by the Spirit of God." That's when God speaks to us. That's when the Bible becomes real to us, and he opens up the Bible. And that's when he makes us a completely new person. That's what it means by being born again. We become changed. I was changed, and I've seen so many others. That's evidence to me. And what he asked for is for us to turn away from the things that we were doing, seek him out, and he will open our hearts to him. Thank you very much.